podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out this week. We are excited to be back and trying to save the universe. If only Flash were here. But he's dead.
Flash the Basset Hound from Hazard County?
No, Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon's not dead. Flash Gordon's immortal.
Flash Gordon is alive?
Gordon's alive!
Anyway.
Yes, he is.
To me, my yellow peril hordes.
Rodrigo, please let's do some game stuffs.
Say some stuff in the X-Men Cyto voice.
So before we get started
on Critical,
before we get started on Critical Hit, last time
on Critical Hit,
you guys actually leveled up to 21.
We
which
did.
Is the
Huzzah!
First level of Epic Tier, 4th edition. Epic Tier. There are three tiers in 4th edition. Heroic Tier, which is the little baby one. Paragon Tier, which you guys have been sitting on for a while, and then Epic Tier, which is from levels 21 through 30. And when you hit Epic Tier, you get to pick an Epic Destiny. Epic Destinies are a way for 4th edition characters to sort of express big, mighty, heroic powers. They kind of it's a transition from legendary hero to like heroic legend, if that makes sense.
Are you sure you're not just doing that Sphinx thing where you say the same thing backwards?
I am always doing that Sphinx thing. That is. Have you had a conversation with me? Especially when I'm game mastering. Good Lord. It's insufferable. So, Epic Destinies also, as written, provide a way for characters to leave the narrative. Basically, by the time you hit level 30, you get on a ship and sail off to the west, or you ascend to godhood and sit on a throne, or you become a #1 pop song, and everybody remembers you anytime it's 80s night. I mean, some Epic Destinies are like that. There's an Epic Destiny that literally turns you into a legend, like you stop existing in the real world and become an ancient legend that people have always told. There's an Epic Destiny that absorbs you into your signature spell, and every time somebody casts that spell, there you are. And then there are ones that aren't as thorough about getting you out of the narrative. But the problem with that is that that brings with it a lot of baggage. I think that, and you can see it, I think, with you guys, with the players, and I've seen it in other players. Everybody's always very excited about picking up a Paragon path, but almost no one is excited about an Epic Destiny. And the reason for that is, as you start reading through Epic Destinies, they kind of start telling you things about your character that you might not like. They tell you like what your character becomes, how your character feels about things. Whereas usually a Paragon path is like, you love swords, so here's a bunch of sword powers. Or you are a robot. Here are all your robot abilities.
I'll take that one.
Right. We're not going to do that. We're going to take a very critical hit.
Critical hit.
Yeah. A very Major Spoilers presents Critical Hit, a Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast take on Paragon paths, which is to say we're going to seriously reskin them. I sent the players a message sort of outlining this, and the last kind of the final thing that I told them is, when you pick a Paragon path, you should look at the mechanics. You should look at the whole thing, but kind of ignore the flavor text, and you should say, does it make sense for my character to do X, meaning what the actual powers do? Because Paragon paths tend to actually have very broad entry. So it's very easy to be like, well, I want my character to be like a weird teleporter now for no reason, even though I've never teleported once in the game. And, I mean, if it makes sense in character, whatever. So anyway, does it make sense for my character to do X? Is X actually something I'd enjoy doing? So you have to think about the mechanics of it. Is like, oh yeah, this is like a Paragon, or this is an Epic Destiny that gives me these like magical points. So I want to sit there and spend these magical points every fight or every turn, or move points around and put points into things. Like, it might not be. So you should consider, is this something that actually seems mechanically enjoyable for you to do? And then lastly, does it have a cool name? Because a name actually is a rules construct. So that is something that you should consider, although you are perfectly welcome to strip out all the rest of the flavor of those Paragon paths. Or I keep saying Paragon paths, Epic Destinies. So everybody leveled up? Everybody picked an Epic Destiny?
Yes.
Do we want to go around real quick and basically say your Epic Destiny and what you get at 21st level out of it? Who wants to go first?
I heard Randus speak up.
Sure, I can go. So I decided to go with the Sage of Ages. It was mostly a mechanical decision, but there's definitely some nice little parallels and matchups with Randus. But what I get at 21st level, starting out, is I get a +6 bonus untyped to Arcana, Dungeoneering, History, Nature, and Religion checks.
Boom!
Yeah. So I got some pretty good skill buffs there. And my Arcana becoming pretty crazy may feature pretty predominantly if we get much higher levels.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good ability. I will say that one of my goals as I was running this game is to make skill challenges as like dangerous and important as combat. And I'm glad that clearly that has happened, because players are like, I need more skills.
Yes.
We do need more skills.
It doesn't help that we're terrible at skills challenges.
We're not terrible at anything. We're just not excellent at anything.
Skill challenges. I mean, skill challenges are hard. They are meant to be hard, and they're meant to be very difficult. So that's a pretty good one. Who wants to go next?
I will go next.
Okay.
I have chosen Indomitable Champion, which seems awesome. Mm-hmm. And then an actual shaft of light comes down and encases Sicard, whoosh, and he floats up like that Flock of Seagulls song. Doesn't have the haircut. But this is important, Rodrigo. I need to tell you this, because I realized that as I'm looking at this, 21st, level 21, I get Epic Heroism, which means I increase 2 different ability scores by 2.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually do that on the character sheet until just now. So the character sheet that I have sent you is wrong.
That's okay.
Okay.
What are your, since we're here, what are your Epic Heroism choices?
Well, it's Sicard. So I'm thinking probably my Epic Heroism choices for 2 additional buff would be the Strength.
Okay.
And I'm arguing now whether I should do the Wisdom or the Constitution. Because I mean, Wisdom is the thing, and I'm all like, "Ooh, look at me!"
Yeah, a lot of your abilities have secondary bonuses off of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would go with Wisdom, because that's also going to it'll buff your powers that care about Wisdom. It will also increase your sense motive and awareness checks, and maybe nature. Is nature tied to Wisdom nowadays?
I think nature's
No, nature's intelligence. Yeah. But religion,
hate us.
That's a thing.
Yeah, they hate us all.
No, nature is wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yay!
you go.
I got the nature.
Religion's under intelligence.
That's what it is.
So
I
they hate
was
clerics.
A weird one.
My intelligence is so high.
This is that weird realm where I feel like my actual expectation of what a warden is and does is completely different than theirs. So definitely the wisdom bump. Strength and wisdom, and I totally did that before the show and sent you the character sheet as far as anyone knows.
It's okay.
Yeah, it happens. Which means, by
this-
the way, that my strength is redonkulous right now.
Yeah, so D&D is like, oh yeah, the upper level for most humans is 20. It was like that's like world class athlete is 20.
Yeah.
Sakar is now well above that.
Yeah, Sakar can throw a boat right over a hedge.
Is Sakar at 26, 27?
26.
Which in the old days would be Frost Giant strength. But
I mean, it's kind of still Frost Giant strength.
Well, I'm
Or
still
Fire
only
Giant.
6'5", because you wouldn't let me
You
be
should
7
feel pretty
strong.
confident at like arm wrestling any giant that doesn't have like a magical crown of stars around it, or or isn't green. Storm giants are cheating.
Yeah. Their face on their head.
Those guys cheat.
They do.
Well, that's good. So let's hop somewhere else.
I'll go.
Okay.
So speaking with skill challenges, when I first joined the game, Rodrigo recommended the Jack of all trades Paragon path because it makes me really good at them. And so when he recommended God Hunter to me for Epic Destiny, I was pretty quick to take his advice. Besides, it also has a sweet name and seems, I don't know, pertinent to just maybe what we're doing right now.
It does seem familiar.
Plus, the level 21 ability is great, which is that once per encounter, I can reroll an attack roll against a creature that is higher level than you.
Nice.
And just for reference, you can probably count on one hand the number of times that you guys have fought anything that is your level or lower.
Yeah.
Most things that you guys have ever fought are higher level than you. So that's basically a free reroll per fight.
There was that one time when Torque wrestled a giant.
There's a little giant.
It was a little giant, but yeah.
All right. Where to next?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I have decided to go with the Archmage Epic Destiny.
Classic.
Yes.
Nice.
Also, it's the very first one, so it makes it real easy when you're selecting. You don't have to read as much. But I think for people that know about the Archmage, it kind of fits for what Orem has been going at these last couple of years. At the 21st level, I get to choose one daily spell that I know and have prepared, if you prepare spells, that I can use that spell twice that day rather than only once.
Nice.
So, for example, my Dreadnought, if he falls, I could summon him again.
Good. That is something that you should declare.
Yes.
When you prepare spells.
Right.
And I'll try and remember to ask you what your Archmage spell is going to be.
Sure. It's probably going to be Dreadnought on the days that the Dreadnought is prepared.
Well, I'll still ask.
Okay.
You still have to declare it.
And I will still tell you. Dreadnought.
Okay. All right.
Yay. I
Yay.
finally get to talk about my Epic Destiny.
The one you've had
I've
for
only
8
know
years.
what I've been doing since level 8. I went with Reincarnate Champion. The first 2 abilities I get are Many Perspectives. I get a +2 bonus to all mental-based skill checks and ability checks.
Dang.
Yeah. No, my skills went... I have a bunch of skills that are actually relevant other than the ones that I've got trained now. And then I also have Past Spirit. I choose a race other than my own. I'm considered a member of that race for the purpose of meeting feat prerequisites, and if that race has any racial encounter powers, I gain one of my choice. This took me a little while to figure out, but I ended up going with Earth Genasi.
Or
should have went to Kobold.
Should gonna work.
Ked is
It's
awful
okay.
shifty.
Kobolds don't get shifty anymore.
No.
They got eroded that.
Oh, bummer.
It gets
Yeah,
Also, I wouldn't have
it's
gotten
really
shifty.
strong.
Because it's any racial encounter powers.
and not feature.
Oh.
Well, shifty was
Yep.
an at-will power.
Oh.
Yeah, it also, for example, it also rules out dwarves because their big encounter power is that they can use second wind as a minor action. So
the builder actually had put that on
As an option.
as an option.
really?
Yeah. Let me just.
I would allow it. All right, so you took the Earth Shock power.
Yep.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I suggested Ganassi to Rob because they've been the reskinning workhorses of the campaign.
Yes.
You
just want those resistances.
They are. That's
I have
why.
to take the feat to get them.
Yeah. I know.
Yep. So they're very well supported. They've got good, solid feats. And also a lot of options. And I was wondering if Rob was going to take a mobility one, like the one that lets you fly, or the one that lets you shift your whole speed, or if he's going to take an attack. So interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've got a feat I can use a feat to change it up.
True. All right. That's everybody, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Dwarven Resilience is apparently considered an encounter power.
Weird.
That's interesting. That's good. I mean, that's fine. That's the one that I would have gone with if I was I mean, obviously it depends on what your flavor was, but it's if I got the chance to spend my second wind as a minor action and not be a dwarf, I would take that.
Here's the thing: at level 24, I get a second one.
Yep. So something to
second what?
consider.
Yeah. The other one I've been considering is Minotaur.
Yeah. Minotaur is pretty good, especially because you can use your con with it.
Yes.
And you'll never get lost in a maze.
It's true.
You don't get lost in mazes. Minotaurs
what he
actually have racial traits against it.
Yep. That's actually a thing. All right. So with that out of the way, you guys want to actually play D&D?
Yes, please.
Yay!
Nah, I'm tired. Let's go home.
I'm with Matthew, except for
So-
the fact that both Matthew and I are already home.
That's true.
So
Actually, Brian's the only one who has to go home.
Yes.
last time,
On Critical Hit.
Critical hit.
what did happen last time on Critical Hit?
We did cartography.
A bunch of places showed up in the astral sea as gods awoken.
Yep. Each one marked by a star and a little yellow triangle with an exclamation point in it.
A new location has been added to your world map.
Yep.
And a bunch of elder gods who had been sleeping are now not going to be sleeping anymore. And we are going to go try and gather them all together and put them into a committee so that we can replace the Treaty of Worms, which has now officially been vacated because I think Coralon was a jerk, but also others.
I mostly blame Coralon on that one.
Well, I
But
mean,
he might be trying to strike a nasty blow against Asmodeus, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. Coralon's kind of feckless. He may just be doing the I don't wanna, you can't make me. But we now have to go track down Murag, Oronko, Vitanazoa, Ulradan, Zorzarecha, Kord, Mesco, the Bronze Prince, Great Tiger, Gama, the Weeping Maiden, Thene, Rafaga, and Magubliet, which is probably the worst folk truck group of the 1960s.
Also not necessarily in that order.
Right. But you can never fit it
Yeah,
on
I think
the
we
album.
decided Coralon was not Coralon, Kord was
Kord,
going to be our
yeah.
first
Kord.
stop because we actually know him.
Well,
Well, we've had dealings. Well, not we.
We've crawled
They've-
upon a sleeping body.
You know what?
That's
You gave
very
him a
intimate
haircut.
knowledge.
You gave him a haircut, which is almost like removing a thorn from his paw, which means
Well, we'll see how he feels about that.
just squeak like a mouse. He'll love it. See?
Yeah, like that.
Totally- yeah, that's perfect.
It's just typical Randus noises.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
All right, good recap.
Brandis, you want some waffles? Uh-oh.
Not actually, amazingly, not as meandering as I expected. So good work, everyone.
You're welcome.
So yeah, we will start up. I believe you guys were getting ready to go, but your armor had suggested that you guys actually spend some time spending the resources that they have here for you and crafting a magic item or two or however many. Did you guys figure out which ones you were making?
Yes,
Well, Orm wanted a ring,
I do want a ring.
so we want to spend half of it on there.
I would very much like
It
to.
was 225,000.
Who is keeping track of that money?
Randus will keep track of that
Randus
money
will? Okay, let me open up.
since it's Maker's money.
All right.
Haven't you been keeping track of all group money though, Steven?
I have, but that's specifically Maker's money. If you want me to keep track of it, I can.
I don't care. I'm still keeping track of my own.
2.5.
Yeah, see?
So, did also Sakar want some kind of gloves?
Yeah. You had talked about the gauntlets of what was it? The gauntlets of destruction,
Sam also suggested the strike backs.
which is are either of them within our price range?
Yes.
Are they? They both are.
Both are.
Either of them are,
Strikebacks are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
For our level.
'Cause, yeah, they're only level 10.
Thematically speaking, as a player, just Matthew would like to avoid the strikebacks because I played those as a different character, and I feel like having them there might be something that would not remind me that I'm a new guy now. And I know that that's stupid, but it's one of those things that
That's fair.
my brain has to channel through channels. So if we can do the gauntlets of destruction,
All right.
that would be darn spiffy.
Gauntlets of destruction.
Basically, when rolling damage on a melee attack, re-roll all ones until they come up as something other than a 1.
Is that
Oh, so all his melee attacks are now brutal.
Yes.
so? Is that eternal? Is that like any one that comes up in damage on a melee attack ever, forever?
Yes.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm meleeing with.
Applies to just anything in a melee attack, right? It doesn't say weapon damage.
Right.
Yep, when rolling damage on melee attacks, reroll ones until they come up as something other than a 1. So, yep. If you, but it has to be melee. So close bursts don't count or blasts.
Right. Thrown swords don't count.
But yeah, if it's, but if you have things that and wardens get stuff that like extends your melee range. So if something says like melee 2, it still counts.
I do have
Just
at least
gotta-
one melee 2. I want to say my Warden's Grasp is melee 2.
We could do
Yeah.
that and have 40,000 material components left with those 2 items.
We'll
that sounds-
take the ceramic dog and put the rest of it on a gift certificate, Pat.
All right.
I don't know. I mean,
Hey,
do
Rodrigo.
we have?
What's up?
If we ever actually got a set, like the actual set items, would you?
Are you cool with that? Or
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. If I haven't been dropping set items because they're really difficult to coordinate.
Mhm.
Back before we started doing
I think
What
I
is it
got
called?
1, but 1's not enough to trigger the set bonus.
yeah,
Yep.
you need at least. I think you need the
all
full
the
set.
sets need at least 2.
Yeah. Before we started doing inherent bonuses, I thought about doing that, but it's just very difficult, the way that I assign loot. But if you guys want to put in the time and effort and money to make a set, as long as it's a set that came out of a core book and not Dragon Magazine,
Oh, Dragon Magazine.
I would be, and even if it came out of Dragon Magazine, we can look at it
It's
and
subject to approval.
yeah, it's just subject to approval. But yeah, if you guys wanted to craft a set, that's something that would be allowed.
And it may be a little squirrely doing so, given that we do have inherent bonuses, but
Yeah, we can make it work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Inherent bonuses frees you up to do it to
Yeah.
a certain degree, just because now you can like go down 2 levels of armor and still be okay.
Well, we
Yep.
could just get like the lowest level of that
Right.
item.
Now,
Yeah, I guess.
are these items the level that they are, or are they leveled based on where we are, or is it situational?
Well, it's whatever level the item is, and
So the gauntlets are showing up as a level 18 item.
yeah, some items have variable levels for different effects. Some don't.
That's
so
what I wanted
the
to make
gauntlets
sure.
don't. So yeah, it's the level 18. So
it's cool.
no, unfortunately, there's not better gauntlets that I've found that do Brutal 2.
That's cool, because we're making the gauntlets after I got this cool, awesome armor, we can actually coordinate them. And that is the important part, is do they match?
Well, I can try
There's
my
a
best.
group ring set.
Oh.
What?
Rings of the Akarat. Each ally wearing a ring from this set can do stuff. 2, 5, and 6.
Oh boy. How is Akarat spelled?
Akarot. It's like Kakarot without the first letter.
So we just need to expand the party, is what you're saying.
We need more people.
Well, I was going to have 2 rings.
Ha!
It's a bummer we
No,
didn't
we
have
can't,
that when
because
our
we've got
party
the
was
soul
19.
bound rings.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Well, we could just give up our souls. I mean,
Well,
I can take them.
yes, it is us, the mighty epic heroes, and Toby. Toby's just here because he has an extra finger that we can put a ring on. All right. Well, this is very likely not the last scoop of money that you guys are gonna get. So
Hooray!
definitely start thinking about future magic items, and I mean, you guys can always maintain a dialogue. You don't have to wait until you get the money to talk to each other about what magic items the party can make. And then just make sure that you run it by me, and I'm guessing I'm just going to say that since Brian has the actual feat that makes the magic items, he's the one who he's in charge. He's team captain.
I'm the one in the machine shop machining away.
Machining your shop.
So
That's when you when you walk around the base, that's where you find that character.
Right.
So you can have intimacy conversations.
Let's put a pin, Brian.
Yep.
We need to put a pin in the possibility of sword upgrades.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, if possible, if I can, with my new stone giant strength, not that that's a cool thing or anything, hit things even harder with more powerful swords, I feel like that would, make me feel more useful to the team. Because as Rob pointed out, I suck in skills challenge.
We could look for items to help with that too.
Yeah,
that's
true.
There we
go.
That may
actually
be a discussion for another time.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
We'll stick a pin in it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So for now, I spend a couple hours making up a ring and some gloves.
Hooray!
Yep. Now I have a Google Phonics.
I have a ring of dimensional escape. So when an attack drops me to 0 points or fewer, I can teleport up to 20 squares.
20?
20 squares.
Wow.
Holy carp.
Yeah. No, that ring is ridiculous because it also gives him a +1 to all of his just natural teleportation.
Jumping
Nice.
fish hooks.
Yeah, so instead of teleportation of whatever it is, 6, I gotta do
now
7.
7.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Also, I have that death spiral ring too. That I can swap places with somebody who, when a creature within 10 spaces of you drops to 0 hit points or fewer, I can trade places with him.
Yeah, this is a good additional reasons why the Iron Stone is probably good on Randus's head, because Orem is kind of working on a teleporting thing, and his magic helmet also has teleportation bonuses.
Yeah, it does. I'm a teleporting wizard.
Randus can look at me.
Archmage, technically.
You sure
Still a
it's
wizard.
Archmage?
Yep.
I've always said Archmage.
I've said I usually heard it as Archmage, but I think both are fine.
Archemiga. Yeah, it's actually from
It's like Halcyon. No, dude, that's actually how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Is it?
Wait,
Yeah.
really? It's not Halcyon?
Wow.
No, Halcyon is a medication.
Most people pronounce it Halcyon, but it's
Oh.
actually supposed to be Halcyon,
Because
it's like a
Crazy.
magical bird. Which is actually, I think, where the word falcon comes from.
Huh.
Anyway, I feel like we've strayed away from
The game.
from Dungeons and Dragons, so
Just
let's
what?
bring it back.
Well, I think
When
that's a
would
good
we
place to wrap
ever-
it up this week. No, just kidding.
Yes, Randus is going to spend a few hours making some magic items. Sakar can make note of his magic item as well. Orm has his, so we will just pick up after that. The boat is ready to set sail, and except it doesn't have sails, but you know what
Right.
I mean. And everyone is ready to go. The crew's assembled, and the captain is at the helm, and they're just waiting for you guys to board. Sarsa's there to see you off.
We should do a slow motion badass power walk down to the boat.
Yeah, that definitely happens.
Da, da, da,
Strike our action poses.
Da, da, da. Or actually, it's critical hit, so it's like. But still.
Yeah, it's Fortuna, but it's kazoos. So yeah, Sarsa meets you at the dock, and she says, "All ready to go."
I think as ready as we're going
As
to
we're
be.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you decide where you're going first?
Cord's domain, I suppose.
Well,
The path.
the
of Fiend.
captain has the charts, so should be able to get you there pretty quickly.
Sounds good.
Good luck. You have the communications array, so
Yeah.
if you need anything, let us know. We'll have somebody stationed at it at all times.
Okay.
Good luck.
Watch out for spiders.
Right. You as well. All right. You guys get on the boat?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesomely.
All right. You awesomely get on the boat. Engines are already going. The boat takes off. And out of the docking area, out of the little waterway that leads into it, and out into the open astral sea, where the captain activates the spatial super solenoid, which creates a ring of energy and then another ring of energy over it, and you sail through it to adventure.
Hooray!
Come on, grab your friends.
So you guys pass through, and as you do, you find yourselves in a different place in the astral sea. You can tell because there is a very bright star that's very bright, and it's right over there. So clearly you are very close to to Cord's Island.
Okay.
The captain transported the ship to a cautious distance away. You don't want to just be like up here, because who knows what exactly is happening.
Mhm.
Cool.
Now that we're closer, what does it look like?
So this is a bright, bright sort of orangey star, and as you approach, off in the distance, you can start to see you can see it coming on the horizon. The island appears to be hilly and very green. There are lots of trees, and you see these large white buildings popping up on the hills here and there. They have like columns and I don't know, lentils. It's very not that with an E, not with an I. And just no nothing obviously amiss from a distance. No like crazy storms or dragons or demons or anything visible from here. But as you continue to approach, one of the crew members shouts, "Captain, we have incoming!" And the captain turns around to see where the crew member is pointing. And sure enough, out in the distance, there are a couple of ships. They are small. They're much smaller than the Dawn's Arena, but they're moving extremely fast. And unlike the Dawn's Arena, anybody who has any maritime experience at all, even not in the Astral Sea, can recognize an attack ship when they see one, like a ship that's meant to catch up to other ships. The captain turns the ship hard away from them, which puts you perpendicular to your approach to Cord's Island, and just guns it.
How can we help?
Well, they're almost certainly going to catch us. This ship is not the fastest, and those ships are clearly attack ships. So it's only a matter of time. I don't know what sort of armaments they have. So I would say try to protect the actual integrity of the boat as much as possible, or the ship as much as possible. They could have some sort of artillery. If they are what I think they are, then we are in very deep trouble already.
Do we have ropes or something so that we can try to board their ships, or should we dispatch our little shore runner?
No. They would just ram it and tear it apart. No, our best bet, I think, will be to try to defend from incoming projectiles if they have any, and they're certainly going to try and board us. They're not going to try to sink us.
That's
Okay.
Good.
Man, that sounds like a challenge of some sort.
Requiring many skills.
Indeed. Sakar shall draw his swords. Those are his skills.
Pretty much.
Shush.
Good at swords.
Sword getting.
All right. So this is going to be, in fact, a skill challenge.
Yay!
The skills challenge is going to be try to not get the ship sunk or hobbled to the point where it can't travel on its own by its own power. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
All right, Sam.
Yeah. Trying to decide what of my skills would be best for this.
No. I need your
Crazy.
initiative count.
Oh, I rolled it. Oh, it's 34. Sorry. I
Sakar?
realized you were asking me to say it out loud.
26.
Kat?
20.
Randus.
29.
Or
35.
okay.
Are you guys back to back again?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Well, Orem
our,
and Randas aren't.
our arcane guys aren't going to have to be
none of
fighting each
the
other.
magic guys are back to back for
Well,
once.
good.
Ket and Orem, technically.
I guess that's true. Yep. So, as the ship continues to get away, these ships are just catching up at incredible speed. They are lean, and unlike your ship, which rests completely on the astral sea and has these locks propelling it, these are sort of on pontoons. So it's kind of these like long, kind of sharp looking ships with a central forward kind of structure, like a little column that attaches it to a pontoon, and then two others. These things are so sort of long ovals, and they are glowing extremely brightly, and they leave a kind of a brilliant pink wake on the astral sea. And long before they really long before they are within range to do or to board, you see something, a humanoid of some kind, come to the front of the boat, basically make a little rhombus with his hands. You know, when you extend out your thumb and you touch your index finger, the tip of your index fingers and the tip of your thumbs together, like places it right in front of his face, and a blast of brilliant, like white and sort of rose-colored energy shoots out of it and just hits the back of the ship at not a terrible point structurally, but you see others gather at there as well to do that themselves. So at the top of the round, we have Orem.
How far away are they? You said they're too far away to board, but like, are they within, like, would you say 10 squares of where we're at?
They are rapidly approaching 10 squares of where you're at.
They're rapidly approaching, so that is a definite no. They're not in that range.
Not yet.
I think I'll try to. I guess I'll try to dispel their magic. With some way. I guess I'll try that. I guess that would be an arcana.
I mean, these are pretty immediate effects. Like, it's just kind of like a kaboom type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could try to create some sort of shield using arcana. That might work a little better.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to do that. Yeah, try to create some kind of a blast or something that might come up as a shield to be the first thing that those whatever they are hit before it hits the ship, if that will work.
Try to create a blast that acts as a shield?
Yeah, some kind of I want to create a shield. I don't specifically have a spell that does a shield.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to improvise it.
Yeah, I'm trying to improvise that.
Okay. How about something like blasting the sea itself between the two of you to create some sort of hazard?
Sure, we can do that. We can definitely do that.
All right, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. There we go. 38.
38 is a success.
Okay.
Who wants to drive? I guess Orem went first, so.
Yeah.
Ding. All right. That's Orem's turn. he creates this, Orin blasts the astral sea and creates this sort of ongoing swirl of energy that the ships have to get around, and it gives you a moment's reprieve in being blasted to heck. A little sparkle.
So can I kind of take advantage of the crazy magic that's going on and use some Kenku mimicry to create sounds like we're firing on them, or maybe there's something churning in this arcane sea to maybe try to make them back off or take evasive maneuvers?
Is little Sparkle like grabbing a stick and going pew 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 in like a very convincing sound effect way to make them think that you're like firing back at them?
Yes, basically. Or like making it sound like there's like cannons, like arcane cannons that are blasting.
I am going to allow this.
Sweet.
Nice.
It'll be a bluff check, I assume.
Yeah, it is a bluff check. Do you get a bonus for mimicry?
Not stated. It just is just a thing that I'm allowed to do.
Okay, that works.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Well,
empathic read.
Thank you. So yeah, rolled a 1. Thank you for the reroll. Into a 7 for a 33.
33 is still not gonna make it. You got anything else to throw into that?
Let me see. I might. Give me a second. I feel like I had something that I totally forgot about last time.
Uncritical hit.
Uncritical hit.
Oh, I get a +2 power bonus to bluff, diplomacy, intimidate checks due to my fragrance of authority wondrous item. So, would a
from
35 work?
It will. In the future, you do have to declare that ahead of the check, though.
Sorry,
it's an actual daily power that you have to use.
Yeah, fair enough. I should have declared that at the beginning of the combat.
That's all right. I'll allow it this time. So
okay,
that is going to get you a success. So
Yay.
I'm pretty sure what happens is little Sparkle grabs something and really tries to bluff it pretty hard, like it's some sort of like magic staff, and she like is about to like make an incantation and sound off an explosion, and like Ket just like turns it so that she's actually like holding it like a wizard would.
Sweet.
And then she does it, and it's great.
Try this.
Yeah, so definitely one of the ships just like super veers off because they think there's some sort of crazy zap coming. Randus. Oh yeah, they're still shooting.
Oh no. Could I lob some sort of smoke bombs or something for caustic smoke to obscure their vision and aim and make them just make it where they can't see, maybe?
Sure. With Arcana?
With Arcana, yes.
Sure.
All right. Arcana is a 34 these days. Oh, wow. 39?
Wow. 39 does make it.
A 39 with a plus 34, baby. That's still a win.
That's that epic destiny working for you.
Yeah. And the Ion Stone.
Epic density, baby.
Yep. Yeah, so Randus lobs a smoke grenade into the astral sea, and I'm going to say it's in character for Randus to not really have really thought about the sort of explosion that might happen when it impacts the astral sea, so it's huge. It's just enormous.
Skaboosh.
Yep.
That worked.
Yep. It even gives you guys like a little extra speed boost as the wake hits you.
I like it.
Which is going to take us to Sakaar.
All right. So when we talk about the Danzarina, we talk about it as a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have like masts or rigging or anything? that
it
one
does have
could,
a
I don't
mast.
know. It does have?
It does have a mast-like structure, which is just strictly a crow's nest for, spotting land and stuff like that. It doesn't have
Sure.
sails.
But it is
It does
something to which
have
one
a
could
little bit of
buckle on the
rigging
spot.
and some stuff on the deck, but actually it's pretty clean. Sakar has been on ships before, and this thing is more akin to Randus's shenanigans than an actual ship. It runs on magic, and you don't need a lot of ropes and pulleys to make it function. But there is some stuff around.
But there's stuff that one could buckle a swash to, theoretically.
Yeah. And if there isn't extant, you can quickly
Rig one.
Yeah, you can quickly rig a swash or a buckle.
Okay. I will actually do both. I will buckle a swash to something because Sakar may not be magically in the same way that our friends are magically magical, but there is one thing that he is, and that is reflexy as all hell. So Sakar is actually going to buckle his swash to something, swing around, and actually use his swords to deflect an attack in a purely athletic show of athleticism in an athletic manner.
Okay. I'll allow that.
You'll allow that?
Yep.
I'm actually literally going to get my swords and just in one of them they're blasting us. I can see them with their rhombus fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to deflect that blast. So when I'm doing the thing where it says the 2K1, is it roll 2d20 space 2K1 or
slash R
2d20 K1 plus whatever.
Yep. 2d20 K1. Okay.
Is your athletics only a 22?
That's what it says. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right character sheet.
It might be 2 high or 1 higher. If let me see what I have for you.
Okay.
Because I actually updated the character sheet.
I thought I did too, but it's looking like it didn't save.
Where are?
So your strength's at 26, right?
Correct.
So that's 18 right there.
Well, 18 plus 5 minus 1 for armor. So that's a 22.
Okay.
So yes, it's early in the failure track, so you could just roll with it, or you could spend an action point here.
It's us, though.
That is true.
Just save your action point.
All right, we will eat the failure.
All right. So these rosy white energy blasts have been hitting the ship pretty hard. Sakar jumps up, ties a rope to the mast, swings around, and goes to block one of them, and kind of successfully blocks one of them, except it kind of knocks him back and wraps him around the mast like a tetherball. But now he knows exactly how hard they hit.
This never happened to Errol Flynn.
Yeah. That's going to take us to Ket.
All right. Orm used Arcana, right?
I did use Arcana.
Good. That means I can use it without screwing you over.
Yeah.
I am going to activate my Speak with Spirits power to get a +2 to my next skill check. Bonus equal to my wisdom, which is a +2. And I'm going to blast them with magics.
Return fire?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's a 44.
44 is a success.
I wasted a Speak with Spirits.
It happens.
It's good to be sure.
Yeah. It's nice to give us this early buffer.
Yeah.
As we go
All
to the
right.
second round.
At the top of the round, structural damage to the ship is pretty low. really, most of the damage has been taken by the outside. What do you call that? Like a fuselage. And
The hull.
Sakar's and yeah, the hull. That's what it is. And Sakar's face. So, and we know that heals.
Quickly, indeed.
Yeah.
I suppose it does.
Yep. That's gonna take us back to Orem.
Oh man, Orem remembers this class that he had to take. We had to take a course. He never understood why he would ever need a course on naval battles.
Uh-huh.
But he remembers a section on different types of ships and weak points of those ships. Mm-hmm. So he'd like to use history to find out where might be a weak point on the ship that he could tell the others to aim their targets at.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Yeah.
32. Burr, burr.
A 32 will in fact burn.
I may want to go ahead and use an action point and roll that again.
Okay.
I think so.
40 that time.
40 is going to be a success.
It's a yatata.
That is, in fact, a yatata. Orem correctly identifies the pontoon structures as places to inflict damage.
And I yell at Ket and Randus that is a good point to fire anything that they may have. The floaty bits on the bottom.
A schooner is a sailboat.
All right. Little Sparkle.
I think I will try to, since Orem is given a target, take kind of a page from maybe Ket's strategy book and try to help coordinate people on the ship in terms of offering, making sure that everyone's pointing in the right place and going where they need to be, and try to make a diplomacy check if that's all right.
Sure.
You do get a +1 on this because I am half elf.
Oh, nice. Well, and I also get, is it a racial bonus or a power bonus?
Probably racial.
I think it's an untyped bonus.
Untyped bonus? That's wonderful, because I'm also getting a +2 bonus from the Fragrance of Authority, because that works for an hour. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Then I will roll that bonus. So I've got a 37 diplomacy.
That will do it. Yes, Little Sparkle manages to get everybody coordinated for 2 rounds from now when our kind of checks can happen again.
Pretty much.
Randus.
So, is it apparent, like, what allegiance this opposing force is? Like, is it a specific god, or is this like
No, they are closer to you now, and they are not like anything you've seen. Their ships have really strange construction. They are made of, sort of mineral materials, but they're different than what you've seen before. Also, these creatures are not anything you've seen before. Now that they're, close enough for you to see. They are. They have sort of yellowish skin, pointy ears, no discernible nose, and kind of fangly mouths and red eyes. And they're like straight up dressed like, like
pirates,
scurvy pirates.
Yarr. Pirates are terrible, I tell ya.
Trying to think, is there?
Dress warm up as Longbeard Jackson.
No, it is in fact not Longbeard Jackson.
No. Just trying to think, would somehow rolling up some sort of history or religion check grant me some kind of intel on these beings with some like ancient treaty or just something we can try to throw out to get them to back off? Or is there a particular creature type where those would be beneficial?
No, but you know what? I I'm gonna offer this as a one-time thing. There's a lot of ambient godly energy, especially right now. So if Randus wanted to try to formulate that into a makeshift smite, I would let him.
So I try to call upon Cord's favor to give us some sort of offensive or defensive boost.
Sounds good.
All right. I will roll religion then. Okay. 39.
39 will do it.
Yay.
Way to go, Sage of Ages.
Yes.
Yes. So blast still incoming. One of them takes aim at the helm area, and Randus prays to the god of strength, and kind of as the blast comes in, he uses his battle fist to smash it away.
Oh, neat.
And he will never know if it was in fact the power of Cord or if the power was inside him all along. All right, we are one away from victory here. It is to Sakar.
The real power of Cord is the friends we made along the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Let's say Sakar was going to use his hawk-like vampire eyes and to see if there seems to be a captain-y person on one of the pursuing ships. He's going to perceive this with his perception.
Okay.
And then throw his sword really hard and cut that guy's head off.
Okay.
Is that a perception check?
I would let you do perception for a precision strike.
Okay.
But you don't need to locate the captain since physical flaw has been pointed out to you. So I'll let you use perception to aim at the structural weak point that Oren pointed out.
That sounds like an even better plan. Don't tell Orem. He'll think it was his idea. Actually, it is his idea. Go ahead and tell Orem. It'll be fine. All right. So yes, Sakar, having seen that, is going to precision strike. He's going to sling his slinging sword in a slinging manner, because I haven't done that in a while, and people may have forgotten that I can actually sling my slinging sword.
Yep.
39.
That's 39 is a success.
Yeah. Gonna skin that pontoon like a baked potato.
Yep. So one of the ships, Sakar throws his sword. It cracks the stand or the support for the ship, and it kind of starts fishtailing wildly and kind of spins around and gets itself out of the chase. But the other ship still manages to close on you. Luckily, damage to the Cloud's arena is minimal. But the other ship still catches up. It opens up a compartment in the back and launches something at the ship. It appears to be a big piece of, like a big chunk of white stone, probably about maybe about 7 foot long and maybe, we'll say 7 by 5 by 5 ish, surrounded in a metal cage, and also has big sort of grippy claw things on the end. It flies at the ship, lands on the hull and grips on, and basically allows the ship to start pulling itself towards the Dawn's Arena. A bunch of other hooks shoot out of the ship and start gripping onto the hull as well. The captain looks at you guys and kills the engines. He says, "Well, that went about as well as we could have hoped. I'm gonna go downstairs and smash things up if things go poorly up here."
Okay.
We'll try to keep that from being necessary.
Good luck! And he
Thank you.
runs down as fast as his little dwarf legs will carry him. And we're going to be in combat.
Oh, man.
Fight.
Fight.
Round 1, fight.
I think, why don't we just go ahead and take a break this week before we get into combat and
Sounds
see
good.
what the heck is going on. Didn't think these were going to be so back-to-back. Anyway, podcast at majorspoilers.com. If you have any questions, we'll get to more mailbag stuff in the future. And until then, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.